So, hi everyone. Thanks for coming to this first meetup we organized with David.
Hi.
So, today we'll talk about consensus model and Bitcoins and how to create a Bitcoin address.
I don't know. It's our first meetup, but I think we want to make it kind of like, we think it's more valuable to have like the conversations and the connections and stuff if we all come here on a Thursday evening. So like if you have any questions, please just like put up your hand and ask straight away. The only thing is we're recording it, so you're going to be recorded, and also microphone. That would be great for the recording.
Is it loud enough, the microphone?
Yeah, is the sound okay?
I'm not so sure. Yeah,
cool.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so, and we're going to start with just a little like...
Small introduction,
yeah, aperitif or something.
Yeah. So it's like when I first come to Berlin like 15 years ago, there were people who were talking about Knochengeld. I don't know if there's some German here who heard about this already or use this. No, nobody knows this. So it was an artist project. So it's a gallery organized this project, and for a week 54 artists produce one piece of artwork. And for this artwork there was like 100 copies made. So they actually, it's the artists, they made the money. They make this piece, every artist made like this art, which was signed and numbered by the artist. So it was like an original art for every artist. So in the end, 100 bundles were created. So it means there was like 5,400 notes on the market. So it's like a pretty fine amount. And then it was like in 1993, this gallery became a bank. It means the people, they could go there and buy for 20 Dutch mark these notes. And the notes was equivalent to 20 Knochengeld. So they could exchange this. So yeah, the 1 Knochengeld notes was like the value of 20 Dutch mark. And then they could go to 30 shops, around 30 shops in Prenzlauer Berg, and buy some drinks or some food, like this. Yeah, it was the point of this also. And every week, if you buy your notes and you are not using this for a week, the value of your notes will decrease from 1 Knochengeld, bone money. Yeah, Knochengeld means bone money in the end. I don't know if you get this. So it was working like you just go to a shop, you show your notes, and you can buy some stuff and you get a stamp on it. So yeah, this came to my mind because we got interested with David about Bitcoins like six months ago, and this story comes up from in my head. I was like, maybe it's like I wanted to try to make a parallel with Bitcoin, and so this looks like this, a Knochengeld. So it's what you get for 20 Dutch mark, and then with this, you can see there the stickable tokens, which was like the proof you buy something, and then there's the artist signature with the number of the notes and the validity also of this Knochengeld. And in the end, it was also a pretty fine amount of money. There's not more than 5,400 Knochengeld in the end. So that's it. So this experiment in 1993 was a success, and they had no trouble from police or justice, and everything went fine for them. The only stuff, it's just 20% of the Knochengeld went to the market. The rest was just collected by artists for their collection or for some other gallery, and it was not spent.
David, so this is like kind of cute, I guess, but what we thought is really like interesting is first it kind of shows, okay, what is the effect of like inflation? And so this is the value of $1 in like actual what you can buy over the last 100 years or so. And even with just a little bit of inflation, this is already like a pretty bad kind of store of value. The value is just really, really down. And okay, that's one thing, but the second point that's also interesting is about like privately issued monies. And so this is the first coins that were ever made in like 700 BC. in the kings of Lydia invented coins. Actually, King Midas and King Croesus invented coins. This is why they're famous for being so rich, because they invented coins. And ever since this point, before then, money was just like jewelry. People exchanged kind of jewelry or tokens, kind of rare, valuable collectibles or something. And after this point, we had coins, which was a big financial innovation. But also at this point, this was when the governments kind of took control of the money supply. And ever since then, governments have pretty much had like a monopoly on the issuance of money. And what's interesting to think about, like privately issued money is also, especially with cryptocurrencies, is that a good idea? Why should that be? And probably it's not a really good idea. Definitely, actually, I would say it's a really, really bad idea, because if the governments have a monopoly on the issuance of the money supply, then this sets up like a real incentive structure where they're incentivized to inflate the money. And here we don't notice it so much because the governments do okay with money. But this is not the case, was not always the case here. Obviously, there was a lot of inflation in the 30s. And around the world right now, this is a really big problem, is that governments do a really, really bad job looking after the money and dealing with the money. And so this is also just to kind of think about why should we care about Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies. And there's some pretty kind of interesting, powerful ideas that come out of this, for me at least. And yeah, if you want to know more about this stuff, I super recommend this book. It's called The Denationalization of Money by Friedrich Hayek, who's a economist, Nobel Prize-winning economist. And here's where he really proposes that, okay, maybe we should privatize the supply of money, and this would set up much better incentive structures, and this would probably be a really kind of good thing for us as a society and an economy to do this. It's quite short and quite readable. So yeah, that's it's available for free online. You can find PDFs and stuff. Yeah, that's it. Are there questions?
Yep. So I have some notes. I don't know the guys. Wolfgang, the guy who made this, the name of the guy who made this is Wolfgang Krauser. Wolfgang Krauser. Yeah, who made this. And there's, I tried to look at this on the internet. I didn't find really some stuff. And there's also, he made also like a documentary, which the name is Vassislaus, but I didn't find it, so I couldn't watch it. And I was hoping maybe some people would know about this and use this today, but I think not. Yep.
Can you elaborate a bit on what would be the advantages of private money over state-backed money?
Yeah, I think it's at least as kind of Hayek lays it out, is that this would in the end create an incentive for like a stable monetary supply. And that, money has kind of three kind of functions. It's as a store of value, as a medium of exchange. So what we actually, pay for something with the shops, and finally as like a unit of account. So what would, for example, your company's currency that they write all of their accounts and stuff in. And so as a unit of account, what you really want, and he says this is probably the most kind of important function of money as a unit of account, what you really want is for this to be a stable over time, so it doesn't decrease or increase. And he basically suggests that if you have a bunch of different competing monies, everyone will want a stable currency, and you'll have a lot of people competing to create a stable currency, one that neither inflates or deflates. And I think we see that kind of beginning already. There's a lot of kind of with these stablecoin projects, and there's a lot of people competing to produce the most like reputable, stable currency. And regarding, especially Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, this is also just about having like a global reserve currency that's out of the control of any government, is also probably just quite beneficial for us globally as a global society.
Yep.
But I think at the moment we have already many currency issued by different governments. So they're actually some kind of competition already.
Yeah,
is that?
That's true, I think, but it would be, even more competition probably. And there's countries where you can only use the government currency. For example, like Argentina had extremely strong currency controls about being able to move money in and out of Argentina. This is why you also see people in Argentina and Venezuela love Bitcoin, and they got it way faster than people. From Bitcoin or from the currency controls? Yeah, exactly. They had like 3 different currencies in the last 50 or 60 years. Yeah. Okay, then I think we'll continue to the next section, and this is more like technical.